Doug MPA back with another one. Guys, this is number 11 of my Women on TikTok Who Regret Their Student Loan Debt series. Why women feel compelled to put all the craziness in their life all over social media, Instagram and TikTok in particular. I have no idea, but if they keep dumping this stuff on TikTok, I'm going to keep making these compilations because you guys seem to like them. And I'm going to start this like I start every single women student loan debt video. Guys, a woman's debt should be a disqualifier for consideration for serious relationship or marriage, guys. Don't take a woman seriously if she has a ton of student loan debt, guys. A woman's debt, student loan debt in particular, shows you her decision-making skills or lack thereof. And if she's not responsible with her money, she's definitely not going to be responsible with yours. So let's get into this compilation. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And I'm going to put a link to the first 10 in the description of this video and the first comment pinned to the top. So check out my previous 10 and let's get into this video right here.
You chose to go to college. You chose to take out those loans. What else was I supposed to do?
And another thing, I think people are forgetting the fact that student loans were literally based on our parents' income. 9 times out of 10, we went to college when we were 17, 18 years old.
Okay, so I'm so tired of this argument. When we were so young, there are different things that we can do to minimize student loan debt, even when you're 17 years old. How about you go to college in state? How about you go to community college? I did. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. I started out at the good old community college, and I'm glad I did because it was cheap. There are things you can do as a 17-year-old to minimize your student loan debt. And guys, just to warn you, I checked out this girl's TikTok, and she's a single mom. No wonder she can't pay off her student loan debt.
Those loans and those interest rates, they were based on our parents. So all these people who were like, oh, well, I want my credit card balance forgiven, or oh, I want my car loan balance forgiven, I want my mortgage paid off. You got those things based on the income that you were currently making. So if you could not afford a mortgage of this, that, or the other, you would have gotten something that didn't cost as much. If you could not afford a car for $30,000, you would have gotten offered a car for less money. Same with credit card balance or whatever else you want to use as your argument. At the ripe age of 17, when I was applying for college, there's no way I would have gotten $28,000 to do literally anything else in life. Because based on my income and age, for that matter, I would not have been able to get a car loan. I would not have been able to get a credit card with a limit higher than $1,000. I would not have been able to get a mortgage. Do you know why? Because when I was 17, I was making barely $300 every 2 weeks.
But you still went to school for some degree that wasn't going to make you any money, and you paid too much for it. That's what it boils down to. She probably lived on campus. She probably didn't work in college. Guys, I had 2 jobs all the way through undergrad and grad school. I didn't have time to join a fraternity. Pledge that Greek life. I didn't have time to go to football games. I didn't have time to go to campus parties. Doug MPA had to work 2 jobs. So I'm so tired of this. I don't want to hear it. No sympathy over here, guys.
Who wasn't making that? My parents. The loans were based off of them. Are y'all not seeing how predatory that is? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then the people who want to...
So you should have felt obligated to keep the cost low because of your parents. How about that?
Say, oh, well, then you should get a job in the sciences and stop getting liberal arts degrees. I have a science degree, and it took me 2 years to get an entry-level job. And also the whole idea that getting student loans forgiven somehow is going to not teach us how to be responsible. I am about to be 25 years old. I have an entire child, and I've been...
That's right. Told you. She's a single mom. Barely got an entry-level degree in the sciences, and she doesn't say what kind of sciences it is. You had a child out of wedlock. So you racked up a bunch of debt in college. You had a child out of wedlock. Guys, women that rack up a bunch of student loan debt, like I said at the beginning of the video, it shows you the decision-making process or lack thereof.
Been living on my own since the year that I graduated college. Not paying back all of my student loans is not going to somehow make me this irresponsible adult who's not going to take care of the things that I need to take care of. It all doesn't, I could talk about this for hours, but it doesn't add up.
Guys, avoid women like this, man. It's everyone else's fault but hers. And she has some dude's kid that you're going to have to take care of. Avoid, run like the plague. Case number 2. Let's get into what this person has to say.
So once upon a time, I went to college, and my family couldn't afford to pay for it, so I took out loans on my own. And like most college kids, I thought that I would get a really great job as soon as I graduated, and I could pay off my loans easily.
Okay, first off, was that before the tattoos? The tattoo on your neck, tattoo on your hands, and guys, I guarantee you that this person's non-binary and puts their pronouns on their resume. I guarantee it. It just looks like the type, right? Come on now. Tell me I'm wrong.
Not the case. I had defaulted on the loans, I got sued, I had to go to court, it was a whole big thing, so I've been basically paying off my loans to the debt collector for the last 10 years. The funny thing
10 years in debt collection, guys. Credit score is probably freaking 6 feet in the ground.
is that the debt collector, every time you make a payment, doesn't tell you what your remaining balance is. So it's your responsibility to keep on track and keep like a ledger of everything. So by my calculations, today is my last payment. So I called the student loan company to ask, and the guy spoke clearly until I told him today was my last day to make payment. And then he started mumbling the amount that was owed. Over and over and over again, we went through the circular conversation. I thought, this is such a transparent, childish tactic, and it's shady. I have no problem paying what I owe. I have a problem when you make it difficult for me to do so. So I just made my payment. I'm done. Fuck you.
Yeah, avoid these people like the plague, man. 10 years in debt collection? At least this person paid off their loans. Give them credit for that. But, 10 years in debt collection? No thanks. And case number 3. Let's go.
No, Jeff.
Oh, she's doing that hand on chin thing, so you know it's about to get real. And it says, do college students not understand compound interest or look up their job prospects before signing up?
I understood compound interest, but I did not understand my job prospects before I signed up for college. I did not understand systemic racism, nor did I understand job discrimination. In fact, my best friend and I, who is white and male, made this pact, I think, in high school that whoever became the richest would take care of each other. And I sincerely thought that I was going to be that person.
Okay, this is a lot to unpack in the first 30 seconds of the video. So let me preface this by saying Doug MPA is black. I've been black on this planet for 43 years. Okay? Number one, she said she didn't understand job prospects. So odds are she got a degree in what are the 6 degrees I always say on my channel that women get that no one cares about. Say it with me, guys. Psychology, sociology, social work, criminal justice, some kind of studies degree. So gender studies, liberal studies, African American studies, Asian studies, and communications. I guarantee you she has a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and probably a PhD in one or two of those 6, right? Number 2, systemic racism. Here's the thing. Even if somehow we were to listen to what she has to say about that, assume it's true. Let's say there's systemic racism. What are you going to do about it? If you can answer that question, you will be successful. Everyone encounters obstacles. Most of us do. The majority of us. It's not easy to be successful for most of us. Okay? You need to figure out what to do about it and how to move ahead and win at all costs. Okay? 3, job discrimination. So what? Keep applying. In this job market, you got to be upwardly mobile. You got to be able to go where the opportunities are. And if you're working in a job or you're in a job market that isn't conducive to where you want to go, move to another one. There's always ways up and around. No, around and up. And you have to figure that out instead of sitting in your chair and complaining about it.
That's how dumb I was.
And sorry, one last thing. She has a pact with her white male friend about being rich. Guys, my parents told me straight up, you're not special. You're not going to cure cancer. You're not going to be anyone memorable in this universe. The best you can do is be a good person and try your hardest, and you get to where you want to go. And that has been one of some of the best advice I've ever gotten. As most of us are not gonna be anyone's significant. Most of us are just 80% of us are just regular people. And there's a problem with that. How do people like her get these grandiose dreams? Who told her this? I think later on in the video she says that she came from a poor background and she had a single mom. Who is telling her these things? That's their fault. They should have told you the same thing my parents told you. I had two parents in the home. And once again, they told me, you're not going to be anyone special. You're going to have an ordinary life. Make the most of it.
He is a rich person. I am not. In high school, we were both in competitive debate, and I just really felt like I was like knocking him dead.
She felt like it.
When it got time for us to send off our college applications, my counselor didn't send off all of my grades, and so I didn't get to go away to college.
You should send them off yourself.
She didn't think I needed to go to an out-of-state college. My friend went to Columbia University, and I went to a state school.
Guys, don't go to these private institutions that, for clout. All it'll do is cost you money, man. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. You know how many times people ask me where I went? I can count them on two hands. Don't go to these Ivy League private institutions that'll cost you a bunch of money. Don't do it.
My friend and I graduated with very similar degrees. I struggled all the way through college. I had to drop out halfway through due to financial difficulties because I came from a very, very poor background. His father is a college professor, and his mother was the director of a very prestigious private school.
Wait, so she's going to hold the fact that he comes from a good family against him? See, guys, this is the black community. I'm just going to say it. Okay? I guarantee you her mom did the same thing that a lot of black mothers do. Her father wasn't the guy she should have had kids with in the first place. So she got raised by an irresponsible single mother. And I'm black. I can say that. And once again, she's holding the fact that this guy came from a good family against him. He utilized his family's resources. Why wouldn't he do that? He's not going to handicap himself for you.
Both sides of his family have money. I had a single parent. So there's that.
Okay, and how is that systemic racism? It's not.
When I graduated college, nobody would pick up my resume. I waited tables for 10 years.
10 years? She couldn't find a professional job for 10 years. There's no excuse. She stayed in the same place probably for 10 years waiting tables with her degree.
Because I could not break in to the corporate world because nobody wanted to hire me. By the time I got my first corporate job, he was finishing with his MBA. I did not know that every single one of my white friends with the same qualifications as me would surpass me in corporate America. Because all of my teachers told me that I was smart and bright and capable, and all I needed to do was get a college education, and that would set me up for a bright future, and that employers would hire me. And that if I avoided AAVE, and if I dressed a certain way, and if I never had colorful extensions, and if I blended in corporately, that I could do all of those things.
But you never got to corporate America for 10 years. And you were probably walking around with, I'm not going to talk about her looks. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to do that. That's not fair. Just for me, man, I'm tired of these sob stories. I'm just tired of it. Okay? You have to make things happen in this world. If you get complacent, if you don't move for opportunity, if you don't try to switch industries, that's your fault.
I believe respectability politics for the first part of my life, and I followed all of the rules and I got nowhere. And now I work kind of mid corporate and I break all of the rules and I'm doing kind of well, but I believe that these loans should be forgiven.
Nope. Sorry. Well, guys, once again, women like this should be avoided. Make sure that if you're going to go to college, that you're going for something worth a dang. If I were a young man and I turned to 21, I get a CDL and drive truck for 4 or 5 years, stack up a bunch of money, and then go to college after that. Guys, utilize every available option to make money without putting yourselves in debt, including student loan debt. Okay? And one last thing, guys, if you're a guy with no debt, working a regular job, making $30,000 a year, you are worth more than a woman making double your salary, $100,000 in student loan debt. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.